22 February 2026. This is me, day 7. I woke up and I had a dream, but in the dream, the construct, I was in school. I'm writing a class test, and the teacher, she has her breast cleavage out, so we can see it. And to me, they literally look like a porn star, a Latina that I basically was worshipping when I was beating my meat impulsively. They literally were the exact same set of tits, no undenying it. And I don't relapse, I don't have sex in that dream, therefore I don't wake up with a puddle on my pants. But I do journal the experience because I know it starts with a dream, because the dream is the spirit. That meant that my spirit was already facing attacks, therefore my mind was next, and therefore the body, which would be the true manifestation of that whole entire experience. So I got up and I journaled that day, and we did not face any urges that day. It was all well. And then Monday was a nice day, normal. Nothing really happened. And then came Tuesday. For the very first time in this journey, on Tuesday, after I had finished, eating by the time that I usually eat, for some reason, my mind was just not satisfied, and obviously I wasn't feeling hungry anymore because I just ate, but obviously I ate only a portion of food, therefore I wasn't really full, and my mind just went into that dialogue where I want to eat, not just anything, but eat junk food. I was literally craving junk food. I was literally wanting everything that I get when I eat junk food, the pleasure that you feel when you're eating the sweets, the junk, just that whole experience of you just indulging in bullshit. I was craving that experience. And at the time, I was unconscious that was literally the old frequency projecting that its desires, what it wants, onto my consciousness, because that's what it was. It was projecting its own desires into my own consciousness, like a domain expansion. Like I've mentioned, it was definitely like a domain expansion, and the domain being my entire mind, my consciousness. It literally took that whole entire awareness that we call consciousness, what I was aware of at that time, and it manipulated it into a way where it was able to project its desire for me to eat junk. But thankfully, I still had my awareness intact, and what I did was I asked myself the cause and the effect of this action, and I realized that when I take the cause and I do all these things just to get this, and I eat this, at the end of this, who do I become? And I realized that I become the person that I am trying to escape, or rather I'm trying to change myself from being, because that person is that person who is controlled by his impulses. When he feels like jerking off, he jerks off. When he feels like eating unhealthy foods, he eats it. He's not disciplined, and therefore I focused on becoming a disciplined person and basically just resisting the urge and just letting it to pass on its own, and saying to myself, this is for the right good, because now I'm choosing better for myself. But then that was just the beginning. The domain, or rather the urge, got stronger and stronger to the point where it felt overwhelming, because it was the only thing that was in my consciousness. And I think the fact that I felt it was overwhelming is because I was resisting it. I was trying to run from it, because imagine you are trying to better yourself by not eating junk, and then all of a sudden that's the only thing you are thinking about, that's the only thing you are aware of, that's the only thing your mind and body is telling you must go and get. Naturally, you want to run from those feelings, you want to run from that state of being and be back at peace. But then the thing is, there's nowhere to run, because everything is happening internally. And therefore me resisting that instead of accepting that this is just a projection from the old frequency, and therefore let me just sit and then just watch what it says to me, and just compare what it says, what it promises me, to what I know is true, which is what I want indefinitely, which is to be disciplined. Basically just embrace the whole side of this experience. But I was resisting, and therefore it got overwhelming for me, because I was trying to not feel that discomfort. And therefore that's when I felt that I have to do something, I need to do something. And that's when I decided to make myself a cup of coffee. I thought that if I actually replace this urge for eating junk with just giving myself sugar, then it will be subdued and I will be back to normal. I did that. I had 4 spoons of of sugar in that coffee cup, and it's just a small cup, so it was definitely sweet, more sugar than coffee. I had that, and immediately I felt the pleasure of the consumption of that shit, and I wanted more. So right after I had that, because I was enjoying it so much, I'm thinking, damn, yeah, this is good. I'm saving myself from eating junk by eating this less junky food. So this is good. I didn't feel guilty about it. That's when I went for another cup. I now went from only having 1 cup to now taking 2 cups. Even though I got relieved from the urges as soon as I had the coffee, meaning like I stopped feeling the urges. Let's say 3 hours down the line, it's night, or rather evening, I'm getting ready for bed, and I just felt this nauseous feeling. It's like something slimy is stuck in my throat and I can't get it out. Even if I drink water or anything, it's just there, and I know it's sugar. That always happens when I eat sugar. I get this nauseous feeling, right? And one proactive observation that I did, or rather I experienced, was the fact that I was chasing the feeling of being full, literally being full stomach, because I starve myself for 16 hours and then I only have 1 meal. Therefore, I feel like I have to fill my body up so that I can be able to go for the next 16 hours intermittent fasting. And I saw that and I was like, okay, so maybe what if instead of drinking cups of coffees or whatever, instead I actually drink 2 cups of water before I eat, just so there's something in my stomach, and then I eat so that I can engineer that feeling of being full, and then see if do I still get cravings or whatever. And yeah, that's what I did.